Hey guys, what's up? So 2024 is here and we should learn something cool, right? So let's start with learning Django. It's a Python's web framework and we will learn it in just 20 minutes from scratch. So I'm very excited for it. Are you? So let's jump into it. Before we start, make sure that you learn Python first, because Django is a web framework built on Python, and I'll show you what kind of things in a very quickly time you can do using Django. So let's start. So I am inside my terminal. I have to do certain things. For example, first of all, I'll create a directory here, and let's say I call it Django demo. So I'll do that, and then I'll go inside Django demo, and then I can just open it in my VS Code. Once I am inside my VS Code, guys, then you can see this looks like a very empty folder. There's nothing inside it. Now there are two ways. One is that you install everything inside your system, or you use a virtual environment. For this particular tutorial, I am using a virtual environment because that's what I prefer. So if you are not using that, then you can just say Python 3 if you are using Mac OS or even Linux, and if you are using Windows, then just Python. So Python 3, and you can say install Django, right? This is what you will do initially. But for this particular sample, I am using pip env, which is for virtual environment, and I am going to say install Django for me. So this will do the same thing, but it will like have a pip file and log file, which means that it is using a virtual environment in this case, right? So this is what I'm doing. Now once I am done with this particular thing, I have to start a Django project. So I'll go inside my virtual environment. Again, if you are not using a virtual environment, you don't have to do anything. But now let's say you are already inside the virtual environment, which is your system, but right now I am using this virtual environment. And now once you have Django installed, then you will say Django dash admin, okay, and then we can say start project, and then you can give it a project name, let's say demo. So now it will create a demo folder for me, which will have another demo folder and a manage.py, which is which I'm gonna explain. So manage.py will manage everything for me, like the data migration and all the things which is required for running this particular project. Inside the demo folder, I see init.py, which is to represent that it's a package. Again, it's a very basic concept of Python. Then we have ASGI and WSGI files. You can totally ignore them because these are mostly for web server. And then the important files here are settings.py, which we will be using for doing some settings here, like whether the app is in debug mode, what kind of application are inside this project, and time zones. All those things we can set from here because it's settings. Then we have urls.py, where we define all our routes. So right now it has just one URL, that is /admin, which will also not work currently. But yeah, this is what we have. Now to run it, you have to use Python 3 or Python manage.py and run server, right? And you can also specify the port, let's say 8080, something like this. But because I am using the virtual environment, so I'll use pip env run /manage.py and run server, and I can also specify a port. And okay, first of all, you have to go inside the demo folder because it does not understand that. Okay, that what is manage.py, and then again we can run this command, and now you can see it says that I have some unapplied migration, which we will do later. But right now it is running on 127.0.0.1 8080, and if I open it, and you can see the install works successfully, congratulations, and we are running Django right now. So this thing is working. But apart from that, we can have multiple applications which are like plug and play kind of thing, and we can just move them from here to another project also. So let's see how we can create that application. So what I'm gonna do is, inside this demo itself, I am going to run let's say pip environment. You can again you don't have to do it this way, but okay, let's do it Django admin, okay, and then this time we will use start app and the name of the app. Let's say we are making a to-do app, okay, so we can just write it like this, And then inside demo, this particular demo, you will see with demo we have a to do app, right? And we also get one SQLite 3 file for database, and we can replace it again with anything else. You don't have to use SQLite, you can use Mongo, Postgres, anything, right? And inside to do app, again we see similar kind of folders. We have this time extra folder which is migrations for our models, again for package init, admin file which is again to register our models. We have apps, we have models which is empty, tests which is empty, views which is empty, right? So first of all, what I need is I want a URL file here, right? So I'll just create a new file called urls.py. Now from where this URL is coming, so if you see, we have a urls.py here itself, so we are just copying it, right? And we can also copy certain things from here, like we can copy this thing from here and we can paste it inside our URLs as well. But rather than this time, this will be, let's say, to do slash, right? And then we have to specify that where this URL is coming from, right? Or in fact, we can just leave it blank, because the to do part we can specify in our main project, right? And then we have to specify that, okay, this is our URL, what you want to do with this URL, right? So we want to do is, let's go to views, and inside we will create our first view. So let's say we call it index, okay? And then it will have a request, and rather than render, let's start with a HTTP response. So here we can just import one HTTP response, and we can pass HTTP response, and we can just say hello Django to do app, something like this, right? So this is what we have, this is inside there. And now we can import this, so we can say from dot import, okay, what happened, import views. Okay, now once we have views, so we can say that what I want to do, I want to use views.index and name can be index, right? So this is what we have done in URLs. This is now you have to tell that this to do app exists in your project, right? We haven't tell anywhere that this to do app is a part of this project, which is demo. So I will go to settings.py and I can see here that there are many apps, installed apps, right? So inside that I can just write the name of my app, which is to do app, right? This should be the same name as this particular thing, right? So now we have the to do app here, so that means we have connected this demo with this to do app, right? The only thing which is left is that in the URL section of this place we don't have any URL for to do, right? So what we can do is we can have let's say we will have another include over here, and we can say that from to do import URLs, right? To do app import URLs, and then we can have a new path for to do, which we can say to do slash, okay, and then we can say include, we don't need this thing, we can just say include URLs, and then we can also give it a name, let's say to do app, to do whatever you want to name it, right? So we are mostly done with everything. So what we have done, let's try to recheck what we did. So in the to do app, first of all we created this URL, first of all we created this view where we are just throwing a HTTP response for a function or method which is index, and in the URLs this is our like you can say start URL, which is just slash. We can also represent it like this, but yeah, this is the only thing. And here we just said that okay, it's an index URL, and then we registered this particular thing inside our admin. Oh, we haven't done it, we will do it for our models. We haven't created any models yet, we will do it after this. And once we have this URLs and views ready, then inside demo, first of all in the settings we added this app, and in the URLs we added this URL. Okay, now let's run the server and let's see what we get. So now we have again running, we have been not doing any migration so far, but we will do it later. But now we are running the server, let's open it. And then we see that on slash, we don't get anything, because now either we have admin or we have slash to do. We have nothing at slash. So let's say if I do to do, then we can see hello Django to do app, right? If we want to do something, let's say on the slash factor itself, then also we can do something about that. For example, I can remove this and we could have just leave it like this, and by default it will show this on the slash URL. So you can see this is just a slash, right? So it's your choice how you want to use it. Let's use it like this only, or if you want to have a to do URL. Okay, done. Now let's see how we can create models, right? So for example, in the model section, I'll go and I'll create my first model. So I can say class and I can have a to do item, right? So for example, let's say we just want these three fields. Okay, so what we are doing, first of all, in the to do item we will inherit from models.model, and the first category here is content, which we can say models.text field. So we will get a text field. We can also specify a max length or something like that here, which if you want you can do. So for example, I can say max length as 255. Then there is a completed field, or we can say is done rather, right? Is done, which is models dot boolean field, and it's by default it is false. And then it's a created, which is the date time field that when this to do was created, and auto now add is true, which means it will be automatically done for us, right? So this is how you create your model, and then you can go to your admin and you can register your model. So you can say admin dot site dot register and to do item. So this to do item is not there, so let's import it, and we have this here, right? We can also write it like this, from dot models import to do item. So now we are done again. Now let's see if we get this thing, but how we will check if we have this to do item or not. So for that, first of all, because it's a part of our database, and because Django uses ORM, which is object relation mapping, so which means that you don't have to do much for your database related things. You can just apply some queries here and there and you will get your work done. So now what we have to do, we have to do the migrations before we do anything else. So to do migrations, we will just have the same kind of setup, but rather than run server, we can say make migrations. Again, you can use Python 3 space manage.py space make migrations, or if you're using virtual environment, then you will run it like this. And once you do that, it says that okay, migration for this has to be done, and now you will just say migrate. So I'll just say migrate, and once I do that, the migration is done. Now I have to create one super user for my admin, right? Because I want to access it as a super user. So how I will do that? So I'll just say, rather than migrate, I will say create super user. And now it will ask me for username. For example, I'll give it a username, let's say Pawan. Email address I'll leave blank. Password I can enter, let's say I enter something like this. Then again, and yes, super user created successfully. So everything is done. Now you have to run your server. So let's run our server again, and this time you see there is no warning or anything like that. Now if I go here, you can see hello Django to do apps on the slash thing. Now we can go to slash admin, and this is the beauty of Django, that we get this pre-made Django admin panel, which is which has everything light mode, dark mode, whatever you want to use, right? And now I want to have a username, so I'll just enter Pawan, and in the password I will enter the password I used, right? Let's start with the wrong password, and if I do it, you will see that this is wrong, right? So let's start with a right password now, and let's do it. And once I do it, you can see I have couple of things. For example, one is authentication and authorization, and another is to do app. So our to do app is registered. We have basically a table to do items, and we don't have a to do item. We can add some to do item from here. For example, we can add a content, let's say buy some grocery, right? And we can save another, take a bath, and if it is done, then we can save. So we have two to do items over here, right? And this is what we have, right? Now these are two of the things which we have, but when we go to slash the normal thing, which is this, we just see hello Django to do app, which we don't want. We want to see something more, right? So how we will do that? So now we will go back to our URLs, or rather let's go to our views. We can have another view, right? And we can call it to-dos view, something like that, whatever you want to call it. Now rather than returning an HTTP response, we will render something. Okay, but to render we don't have anything, right? So let's do one more thing. Let's return an HTTP response for now. Let's do one thing. In the to do app, let's create a new folder and we can call it template. Okay, templates. So inside templates, make sure the name of the folder is like what I'm specifying. Now let's create a base.html, right? Now this can work as a base for all my templates, and now I can use GitHub Copilot to do this job for me, to write this generic template for me. So I'll ask GitHub Copilot to generate a base.html for me, and let's see if it is, oh, I just mistyped it, but yeah, that's fine. So accept. So basically what it has done is it is using something called Jinja. It's an engine for this particular basically what you can do is, as you can see, it's a normal HTML file, but there are some blocks which you can specify. So it starts from a curly brace and this percentage mark and ends with this. So this is one block, and I can pass any title over here, and then this is how I have to end that block as well. Similarly, you have this block here for content, and you will end this block. Similarly, you can do it for if else, for loops, whatever, right? We'll see an example. So inside templates, let's create another template. Let's say todos.html, another one. Now I'll again ask GitHub Copilot to do that for me. So create a todos.html using base.html, which will have a list of to-dos, something like this, right? And let's see if it generates it. So this is the place where AI can be used. I guess this saves a lot of things. Okay, so now we see initially it says extends base.html, and now I can pass content inside this like this, to-dos, and for to-dos, in to-dos, and then to-do, and for like this to-dos is a variable which is coming from somewhere. It's a normal for loop, right? And there is a list item inside, like there is a ul which is part of like how this is how we specify list, right? So this is unordered list. You can have ordered list as well, whatever you want to do, and these are list items, so nothing else. But just see this syntax, it is from like for and things like that, right? This is how it works. Now we have these two things. Now we will go back to our URLs, or rather views, and this time I can render, right, request, and I will have todos.html. So I can just write it like this, todos.html, and then I have to pass to-dos, right? So I'll just say to-dos, and either you can specify a list from here, like this, or we will rather we have the to-dos we created in the admin panel, so we can use it like this, to-do item. So for that we will have to import the to-do item, and then we can say .objects.all, which means it will give all the objects from here. Now there is like no module named demo.todo app. What happened? Okay, this is something which I don't want, and this is fine. Okay, so now it is running. This is what we have. Now this to-dos view does not have anything, so in the URL I'll create another URL. This time it will be to-dos, right? And we can have a slash, and this time views.index would be to-dos view, and we can say to-dos, yeah, all good. Now let's run this and let's see what happens. So when we are using a normal slash, it is just showing hello Django to do app, and now if I do slash to dos, it is returning me to do item object 1 and 2. The problem is if I go back to todos.html, let's do it a quick view, then we are just saying to do, and rather we should call it todos.content. So let's do it, and once we do it, let's refresh this page, and now you can see buy some grocery, take a bath, right? um, and if we want, we can add more items using our admin panel as well. Like for example, if I go back to my admin, again I have to just log in again because I rerun it. And once I do that, I can add another item. Let's say do something, right? And if it is done or not, okay, I'm not doing anything for that if it is done or not, but I can do certainly something around that as well. So to do's, oh, this is a wrong URL. This is what you see when you enter a wrong URL. And now you can see do something, right? Whether it is done or not, you can basically add something over here. For example, we can ask GitHub Copilot again to generate something for us, or we can write it by itself. So this is for just one model. You can create multiple models, and you can also attach them using foreign keys and all those things. Also guys, there is one more thing which I want to show you. So once you have this demo ready, right, you saw everything, you can also browse through this db.sqlite3. You can use an external application or inside VS Code itself. Make sure you have the Django installed, and then you can also install something for SQLite, and that is this particular thing, which is SQLite by the same name. And then what you can do in our VS Code, I'll press Command Shift P, and I can say SQLite open database, and I can select this database from here. And now inside here on the corner of left bottom, you can see SQLite Explorer, and from here I can see all my different tables here, right? Like this, and we have this to do item, and I can play from here, and you can see we have this beautiful data that when it was created, if it is done or not, take a bar, do something, and all those things. And you can again do the manipulation from here itself. You can export it, you can do pretty much everything, I guess, right? Export as JSON, and yeah, you can see all the fields associated with it. So yeah, this is also a very good way of looking into it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want more videos on it, let me know in the comments, and please make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, also press the bell icon, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. How did you like it in 2024? Bye bye, see you in the